Bam, damn, a damn Alabama fan and proud of it. Gump Nation forever, brother.
Namath again faking, quickly finds his target.
Now cuts in. He's at the 40-yard line. He's at the 30.
Quick drop throws in the end zone.
Each number represents an expectation, a challenge that only a championship tradition can issue.
Pressure. Anders hits him. The ball is loose.
Alabama, here comes the heat. Cornelius Bennett. Whoa, did he get lit up?
It is an endless passing of the torch that urges the wearer to enrich his legacy.
Brings pressure up the middle in a hurry. They can't get away from Dante. Alexander first down and more.
Richardson breaks free on the sideline. Turns the corner. Can you say goodbye?
Because at Alabama, tradition is not retired. It is built.
Put a smile on my face.
Big up for it. Fires on the end zone. Will not be denied.
Hey, good Saturday evening, everybody. I hope your weekend has started out well. It is January 6th, 2024. Already 6 days into the new year. Hope you guys are doing well. I really do. Got a lot we want to talk about tonight. I hope we can get some of our recruiting guys, our recruiting gurus, to come on the show here after a while. I really like to talk some recruiting because that's what. Let's get ready for the next season, the whole new season. All right, guys, I got me a guy sitting over here waiting to come on, so just hang on just a second and we'll get him here.
He's not going anywhere. Doesn't just roll out great players. He and his staff develop them. It's all about the process.
There you go.
Baby.
I was doing the same thing.
Rock and roll, buddy.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing good, brother. Every time I see that video, I like it better. Every time I see something a little bit different, you've done a super job. I mean, I like that. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing good. All right. Let's see here. Motherfucker Jones. He's ready for the next season. Hey, roll tide to you, brother. Van the Man Edwards. I hope you've seen what I wanted you to see. Blake Miles, man, it's been a long time, brother. You ought to step up in here and talk to us a little bit. Yes, sir. Let's see. All right. Let's see. There's 13 people in here. They just ain't saying a whole lot. Well, that's all right. So, football season's over for Alabama. It's done. It's over with. It's behind us. Do you really want to talk about the Michigan game? Or let me ask y'all something. Y'all really give a crap about Michigan and Washington? I mean, I understand it may be a good game, especially with Washington. Yeah, I did too. It took me a lot of work on that intro, Van, and I hope everybody likes it. So you just don't know how much work it takes to get into that stuff. But anyways, do y'all really care about Michigan or Washington? I mean, I like to see, I'm going to put it to you like this. If you had your choice, who would you want to pull for?
I'll be right back. I got something going on.
All right, I'll take you out. Okay, so I myself would like to pull for Washington because I just don't like Michigan. Period. I ain't saying they are a better team. I don't even care that they beat us. You know, well, I care, but you know what I'm saying. I don't really have nothing against them. I just don't like Michigan. Period. You know, I think they're a bunch of cheaters, and they got caught, and they've probably been cheating this whole time to get the players that they've got. So yeah, I just don't like Michigan. I'd like to see Washington. It's probably going to be your quote, Celarenda. You know who I'm talking about. I mean, they're the underdogs in this one. So I don't know if they're underdog. Hang on, let's see, my man's back. Yeah. As far as that goes, but hell, they were good enough to beat Texas. So, so I think I'd like to pull for Washington this year. I'd like to see them.
Yeah, the more I listen to Michigan and Florida State and all these other people, the more I realize how much I really don't like them. I mean, absolutely. I mean, you know, I thought Georgia was bad. I mean, Michigan wins a game, and I mean, they're coming out.
Oh yeah. You're gonna have your bandwagons, and I just don't care nothing about them. I seen a bunch of them Friday, you know, up there in Michigan, so I can't say nothing. You know, they got the right to be Michigan fans if they want to. But let's put it this way: I hope they lose, so I can go back over and say "Roll Tide," because I was in a crowd of them. I knew better.
You see, earlier today, Roll Tide Rise Up was talking about. He said he's in Georgia, I think. He's talking about he's going down the road, and the guy passed him waving as he did. He looked over and he had a Michigan sticker on his back of his truck, and Roll Tide said he forgot about his Alabama on the back of his vehicle.
Yeah, I seen it.
Let them have a day, but you know, he said
they did. Hey, the way they treated us, yeah, they need their day. It's kind of like Georgia when they first won. They don't know how to act, to be honest with you. So, you know, and Georgia was the same way. And now they had their notch taken down. I'm going to be honest with you. The loss is not that big of a surprise to me. Once I seen how they was treating our offensive line, you know, it didn't surprise me. I actually was surprised that we were still striking distance and tied the ball game up and had our chances, to be honest with you. I was really surprised.
If you'd have told me before the game that our left tackle, of course, he's a freshman, Caden Proctor, was playing with a torn ligament in his ankle, that our center is going to start snapping the ball everywhere again.
Mm-hmm.
I know we'd had a tough time. I mean, if you got a torn ligament, you know how bad that stuff hurts. And he couldn't move, and that's why all that pressure come from that side of the ball. I mean, with a torn ligament, hell, you can't do much of anything. And why would you put him out there in that situation? You know, evidently Elijah Pritchett or whatever I don't understand. I mean, the kid's tough. I understand it. Just like a couple weeks ago, whenever Georgia had a couple of guys playing through pain, you could tell they were playing hurt and all that. But in Alabama, you should have a guy that can come in and play if you got a torn ligament in your damn ankle. Excuse my language, but in your ankle.
MA is up there, brother.
And I mean, it just blew my mind. And like I say, I hold a grudge, and I'll be mad about this for a longer time than most people. But you know, I'm a sore loser. I give credit where credit's due, but don't ask me to do it twice. You know, I'm not going to tell you done good twice. I'll tell you the first time you better listen up because I ain't going to say it again.
Well, I tell you what, Todd's with me on Washington. Hey, Todd, I'm glad to see you, bud.
Todd?
Washington's QB is clutch. Yep, I agree. I've never sat and watched him, but I've heard good things. All right, Justice Haynes. That is what I'm going to try to get into tonight. Let's see. I'll see him up.
I know Justice. That's the reason why Roydell left. I mean, they took a transfer portal out of here because
Well, hold up. Well, we gonna talk about
I'm just
that
saying
too.
about Justice Haynes. I ain't going no further. I mean, that's why Justice Haynes is playing. You know, I mean that's the game. That I wasn't going to get on other stuff, but I mean, Justice Haynes is coming on. You know, so
yeah. No, here's my thing. Okay, we might as well forget about this game. Okay, there's a lot that's going to be said, has been said. But hey, I'm one of those. You hit a bad shot, go to the next golf shot and hit your next one and put your best effort in that one. So here we go. Our next season. Okay, we lost to Michigan. I'm with Blake Miles. They may have cheated. They may have had signals. It's done and over with. It's EAA ain't gonna do nothing about it. Michigan damn sure ain't gonna do nothing about it. So all we can do is look forward to the next year. So that being said, what do you think we need? Hey, LW, man, anytime LW you want to come on this channel, me and another guy really would like for you to come on. So just come on if you want to. All you got to do, I ain't gonna say it. Maybe
I don't see him in the chat room.
Yeah,
I know you can see him.
Yeah, I'm on both channels.
Okay. That's part of it. I apologize. Yeah.
LW's a good guy. He knows his football. I can tell. So that's the reason I'd like for him to come on if he can. But anyways, and yeah, LW, if you don't have to show your face, but you know, I'm sure everybody would love to meet you, but that's okay. If you want to stay behind the camera, that's all right too. Anyways, what we need to work on our offense, we're going to go offensive side first anyways. And that's why I'm hoping some recruiting guys will come on here later or anytime they want to. I want to know how we going to fix this offensive line. Everybody knows it. It ain't hard to see. I've talked to several people. Offensive line is the first thing that pops to their head of why we lost this game. Be honest with you, it's been a problem all season long. You know, we gotten better, but I think under the pressure of the playoffs, they folded and reverted back to the ways they were playing. You know, so we need to work on the offensive line. Who do you think would be up for center? That's the main one we're looking at.
Well, they talked about all of them be given a shot at center now that Mr. Hookem Yip has gone to Ohio State. Blake Brockermeyer, I think it's one of the Brockermeyers. I think they're thinking he's going to be the next starting center. I've heard good things about him. And then I heard he got up to nearly 300 pounds, and I heard people laughing. So I don't know if he gained weight, didn't gain weight, but they said that a lot of the new incoming guys are going to get given a shot at center to see if one of them is better than the rest of them at center. So as far as center goes, that's going to be our primary thing. And we got three starters coming back, and the center is not one of them. But Brockermeyer's been there long enough now; he should be able to play. I mean, he's been there; this is his third year at least, and he should be strong enough for SEC play where he can play. So I look for Brockermeyer. I'm not sure Van or somebody else or something like that in the chat room. If they say something, they probably know it better than I do about the center. The thing that gets me is we didn't have a backup for center, this year. So I mean, I guess Dalcourt would have come in at center during the year if
they had to.
If Yips hadn't, if he'd have got hurt, Yips would, Dalcourt had to have been the backup because I've never heard another name.
I never did either. Hey, Joanne, glad to see you again. Yeah, we're still rolling. We're still yelling Roll Tide. We don't stop here. We don't hide behind no trees. We don't duck behind the bushes when we lose. Nope. We're always proud of our team. I mean, it's just, I don't pull for another team. I mean, I'm a good sport. I'm a good college fan, but no, it is Alabama all the way. LW said that he thinks the Alabama coaches lost the Michigan game. I don't think that was all it. It was part of it. I will say that. It was part of it. But if you can't have enough, guys, rule number one of a good football team, learned this years and years ago. Okay, LW, that's okay. Anytime you can. Rule number one is have a good offensive line. So what's bothering me this year on our recruiting, we're recruiting 3-star, maybe a 4-star here and there on the offensive line. So I am wondering, are we going to do any good? I mean, you don't hardly ever hear of a 5-star offensive line. I'm sure you do, but you have them, but we're not recruiting them. It don't seem like. Seems like we're getting the 3s and the 4s, which the 3s and the 4s are your toughest fighters to me, if you ask me.
Yeah, they come in without being told their entire life that they're, the God's gift to football. So they come in fighting and they come in swinging, and they do the best they can. So you're right. I mean, that's your hardest fighters, but it's hard to beat a 5-star with a good attitude. But again, I agree with you.
Yeah, talent is kind of hard to overcome, but I'll take a 3-star anytime as long as he's got the heart. Yeah, I've said it all this year. Our team's got heart. It's just something was not right amongst that offensive line. And it just snowballed into the game. They got back there to Jalen, and we couldn't throw the ball because he didn't have time, and play calling might have been a little screwy too. But if you ain't got time, our running backs look good, as far as that goes. But
yeah.
It still all boils down to offensive line. Now you're getting off the field. Your defense is out there too long. It just all snowballs from there. You got to have a good offensive line from the get-go. I know what was his name. Now forget his first name, but Roberts, number 77.
Jaden.
I know he'll be back. Jaden. He'll be back next year. I can't remember who was on the left side outside of Proctor because we talked to Proctor about Proctor so much.
Booker.
Somebody help me out there.
Booker.
Yeah.
You got Latham and the Yips guy. Both of them were going off the team, but you got Jaden Roberts back at right guard. You got your left guard back with Booker and your left tackle with Caden Proctor. I couldn't think of his name to save my life for just a second. Yeah, but you're right.
I'm saying they probably might move him around. Go ahead.
No, you're right. I mean, I just by the offensive line we're signing. I mean, you don't hear about a lot of top guys, as far as like we thought we used to sign 3 5-star offensive linemen every year. Of course, we don't. I mean, there ain't no way you could do that. It's just there ain't that many 5-star linemen running around.
Nope. No, there's not. I mean, I don't know why. But I guess that's just the harder thing to judge than, most people are worried about the skill players, And we will get into that too, to be honest with you. I was watching a recruiting show, matter of fact, before I come on here, and we're getting some heck of some players coming in. But are they going to be here to help this year?
Right. And again, that's where it comes from. Like I say, whenever you're from a school like Mater Dei or IMG or St. John's Bosco or these big preparatory college football, so to speak, football factories, when you sign one from there, they're already 6'4", 330 pounds, and the guy that he's going up against is 6'2", 295, 315 pounds. But if you go down here to one of these little 2A, 3A schools and you sign a guy that's 6'5", 310, that most likely a guy across from him is like 5'9", 185 pounds or something along that line. So it's hard to judge apples to apples and oranges to oranges because, I mean, the quality of competition is nowhere near the same. I mean, you cannot evaluate a guy like that. And that's why I know a lot of times Saban talks about he don't like, giving out scholarship offers until he gets on campus and sees them in person and sees that 310 is 310 and sees that 4.5 is a 4.5 or see that guy 6'4", he wants to see for his own self.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, from what
No,
I'm
I just
Go ahead.
Do
I'm
I?
sorry. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just scrolling through things, trying to find the guys, and I've lost some of my stuff. The offensive line you're talking about, we signed a very good defensive unit, but as far as offensive linemen, I think we got 6 of them, maybe 7. I might have missed somebody. I mean, we signed that kid out of Texas. I think he is Poe. Is that his name?
Yep.
He was a number 1 ranked guy at his position, but again, I don't think he was a 5-star. I think he had him as a 4-star, and I'm always trying to figure how can you be a 4-star if you're the number one at your position? And what y'all have to remember, you know, and some of you do know this, some of you don't. All a star rating to me, the way I understood it, and if I'm wrong, when y'all can straighten me out, that there's 32 5-stars because there's 32 picks in the first round NFL. That's where that 5-star comes from. If you're in the 32 and you're a 5-star, it means they think you're going to be a first-round pick in NFL, and that's where that comes from. That's the star rating, you know. So I mean, you take it for what it's worth, and that's why I think Coach Saban and them don't look at the star rating simply because of they're not going to be playing in the pros. They're going to be playing in Alabama. So, you know, that's where they bring them. You know, you look at them and bring them in, just like Damani Jackson switched over the other day. You know, he transferred to us. And stuff like that. You know, he's a 5-star coming out of high school, and of course now he's leaving over there because of, you know, his offensive coordinator. You know, he ain't going to win at USC. Lincoln Riley might go 8-4, 9-3, kind of, but he's never going to win big time Icebox.
Yeah, he transferred in. That's what I'm getting at. You know, we start getting these 3- and 4-star offensive linemen, I'm gonna say, and we got some transfers coming in that were probably 5 stars. So I could see what he's trying to do as far as the offensive line. Just like Blake said, it's not going to be the same that we've seen this year. Yeah, I just don't. I'm with him. I can't believe that we'll still be either in the same shape or digress. They've got to get better. There's no doubt about it. And I know Saban knows it too. You know.
Yes,
let's go this route. Quarterbacks. This is going to be a hot topic for all summer long. You watch and see. You got Julius Said coming in. Everybody's really high on this young man. I seen some tape on him, and I could understand why. The kid's got an arm. He's accurate, and it looks like he knows his football. How soon can he be able to play for Alabama, do you think?
And that's going on.
I know he's early.
Do what?
I know he's early.
Yeah, and that'll all go, to me, that'll go straight to Tommy Rees. And I mean, you'll find out how quickly he can develop, because this kid, he's got all the intangibles. He's got the upstairs mental capability to process the speed at which he needs to. He's real smooth with his release. His mechanics is wonderful, and everything about him, he's built to be a quarterback, and he's built to be in Division I like Alabama, because he's got that quick processing speed. You know, he can go through 1, 2, 3 quicker than a lot of kids coming out of high school. And that's going to really depend on Tommy Rees, how well he can embark his offensive play calling into him and tell him, here's what you look for. And, you know, raise your hand if you think, you know, Steve Sarkisian would be a better offensive coordinator for him. You know, I mean, it's just, but, you know, Tommy Rees has got to learn. And I think that's where you got to look at it, Icebox. You know, again, I think he's a wonderful quarterback. But I will say this, and we'll move on, or do however you want to do it. I know Ty Simpson, he come back for one more time at it, and I'm not so sure after spring if he ain't thinking he's going to be getting some playing time if he don't transfer. But that's my thought process. But just according to how fast Tommy can, you know, let this kid know, you know, what he needs to be our quarterback at Alabama.
All right, and I agree. And I'm, you know, wasn't no surprise to me that Eli Holstein transferred. Wasn't none at all. Now, what about Lonergan, Dylan Lonergan?
He is an unknown commodity. I ain't heard him say anything. I don't know nothing about. I cannot get a read on him.
Well, from what we've seen in spring game, the kid is poised. He'll stand there. Good arm. I have not heard anything bad about this young man. Nothing at all. He's basically just sitting in the wings. I think he's waiting. Is what he's doing. From what I understand, he's a fine quarterback.
Yes,
let's put it this way. Ty Simpson. I don't know. It's really going to matter what happens with Milroe, because he was my next guy, Milroe. Lonergan, yeah, I'm with you, LW. I'm all for the competition, but I want the best one that we can get out there. Let's see. Yeah. Coaches seem to like him. Yeah, from what I've read too. Yeah, but see, yeah, and I agree with both of y'all. To be honest with you, Milroe will be on a mission, and he will be a Heisman front runner. I don't know about that Heisman. Don't care. Be honest with you. Yeah, it's a pride thing. You know what I'm saying? But I want him to be the best quarterback he can be for us.
Yes,
Okay?
sir.
I don't care about the pros. I don't care what they do. You know, yeah, you pull for them, you like for them too. But what matters to me is what you do for the Alabama football team. I talked to somebody, and he knows who I'm talking about, what I expect out of Milroe next year. I expect Milroe to be working on his game, watching these tapes, where he has missed wide open receivers, that kind of deal. But I'm really wondering if he's just going to completely, or the coaches are even going to completely just abandon his running game. Because when he decides to run, he is just amazing to watch.
Yeah, he can definitely get up down the field. You're right.
I mean,
you know,
jeez.
again, do what?
Go ahead.
No, I was trying to hear you. I had a blip in my screen. I thought you said something else. Go ahead, though.
I'm just saying, Milroe, you give him all summer. He then already took a year underneath Reese's program, and you call it. And now you're going to go through all these new receivers that's coming in. I will mention them here in just a minute. But you got all these new ones coming in, and you still got, is Isaiah Bond coming back? Burton coming back? Prentice? Law? Are they
Burton
staying?
declared the NFL today, so he's gone.
Well, that's what I thought. I don't know about Bond, though.
I think Bond might be coming back, but I'm like you. I'm not sure.
I have been with Rags all day. It seems like I've been working hard all day myself, and Rags has pretty much kept me company all day. Rags, I appreciate it, brother. I do. I enjoyed that. If you don't know what we're talking about, then we got some new people here. Rags in Fitness is a good gentleman, and he loves Alabama football. If you don't know anything about him, I put him on our intro. I hope Rags didn't mind. Subscribe to him. He likes to travel around, and he is a recruiting kind of guy. Matter of fact, the stuff that we're coming up with, Rags, if you want to come on talk with us, because you just come right on. I'm hoping somebody that knows recruiting more than we do will come on and help us out. Roll Tide Road, baby. Let's I'm sorry, man. I'm serious. He's kept me company all day today. I was waiting for his next one, and I was working on this intro stuff, and it's a job. But anyways, all right. So Milroe, I really do think that he's going to work hard on his game this summer. I really do. I don't know how much they get to spend with each other as far as the coaches and practices and all that. I think he'll end up taking another trip to Florida. I do, just to get with his receivers. So I'm kind of curious, you know. So this is where I need a recruiting guy, just to really kind of tell me from what I've seen. You got Ryan Williams coming in, and from what I've seen, he looks like one heck of a receiver. You've got another guy that I can't remember his name. Geez, I just watched him too, Caleb Odom. I can't remember what position he plays, but he's coming in. We got some recruits that I'm sure Rags was talking to today. What was it? Amari Jefferson. You got him coming in. Will they impress enough? That's what I'm wondering too, Mr. Jones, is about a sophomore. Go ahead.
I know Caleb Odom in some circles, he's either number 1 or number 2 tight end in the country, and Caleb Odom is a tight end like what was that tight end's name that killed Clemson in the championship game that year? He got like 5 catches for like 250 yards. He's more of a receiving tight end, and he's a more all around tight end. But he's also one of the tight ends that we've been waiting on that can get down the field, really get down the field. I mean, from what I heard, he's
more of a wide receiver.
He's like a wide receiver playing tight end. Yes, sir.
There's another one that we were getting that's more of a tight end position. He's slow, they say, but he's big and physical.
Yeah,
Can't remember his name.
I know his name, sure as the world.
I'm like I said, I just seen it a while ago, and I can't remember the names. Be honest with you, but Ryan Williams was one of the last ones that I got to watch. I got to watch Julius Sayin and the tight ends, the wide receivers. Rags was down there today watching. I think he got to watch the game with Amari Jefferson in there. I would like to know how impressed he was if he got to watch him play. But you see what I'm getting at? We've got a lot to look forward to this year, especially in our offense. The main thing I'm worried about is that offensive line. If we can get that fixed, given that Milrose had this year, and giving him another summer and another year with Reese, I could see why the hype is up about him might be in a Heisman Trophy. I really can. We've got another running back, Justice Haynes, which kind of gets me to this other subject, Rodell Williams. I hated that he's transferring. I don't understand why. I mean, I don't know if it's something going on there with him and the team.
If you're talking, I can hear you, but Jay Lindsey's the name of that tight end you're talking about. He's down here in Alabama. I couldn't think of the kid's name. I had to keep looking till I found my mention of the kid. He's 6'4", 235 pounds. He's out of Butler, Alabama. As far as that goes, I mean, he's supposed to be nasty. He was ranked. Of course, it says he was 6th nation at the tight end position. I think he'd be that low again. That's where Nick Saban them want to see you in person rather than just to hear about it and see on game film. On game film, I look like I ran a 4.40, and damn, I ain't nowhere near it.
Yeah, Jalen Hale. That's going to be another wide receiver for us.
At all. If you're talking, you've hit a button, I think, or something.
No. Can everybody else hear me?
Is it me or is it you? I can't hear anything.
I don't know. My microphone says it's working.
Can you hear me?
Can you? Yeah, I can hear you.
I can't hear you at all. I don't know what's going on. Can everybody hear Icebox out there? You can hear me, man. Gene, what about us? Can you hear Icebox?
LW, can you hear me?
I don't know what's going on with it. I'm saying it. Okay, I'm not hearing you. Everybody, I guess they're hearing you. I don't know where in the world why I'm not hearing you. Let me keep messing around with it.
Okay, Todd says I guess. Yeah, I guess I'm working. Okay, all right. Then it's on your end. Oops. Now, how are you gonna follow along if you can't hear me? Yeah, I'm sitting over here telling you good bedtime stories, and you're not even sitting there listening. It's up on your end, brother. Yeah, he can't hear me. Yeah, okay. I'm sounding good, I reckon. I don't know about sounding good, but they can hear me. You still can't hear me?
Let me refresh, and I'll try to come back in. If I still can't hear anything, I don't know why it's not. It just quit. I'm going to refresh my screen. I'll come right back.
All right. I'll take you out, and when I see you come back, I'll put you back on. All right. Nope. Took his own self out. All right. Yeah, guys, that's the questions I have for this season coming up. Let's see. We got another running back that's coming in that they say is a punisher. I'm kind of curious about that guy. Hi, Miss Brenda. How you doing? I'll probably catch y'all probably here after a while. If y'all doing anything later on tonight. So glad to see you. All right, let me see here.
I don't know what happened. I can hear you now.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what it was. Something somewhere jumped up and bit it on the butt, I guess, man. I don't know. But go ahead with what you're talking about.
So now's a good time I can just take you out and zap you one good time?
Yeah. Might as well. We'll have a lot more people laughing. That's for damn sure.
Yep, zap time. That's what Jones said.
The guy I was looking for that tight end you were talking about named Lindsey. He's a inline blocker, and that dude, he is mean to the core. I mean, he is tough. And that's what I was looking for, and then I lost you in between then and there, so I apologize. I don't know what happened.
Okay. All right. Well, good. I can't remember where you lost me at, so that's okay. We'll just continue on. Our running backs, take it we're going to lose Chase McClellan. I hate that. Roydell Williams. I was kind of disappointed to him. Not so much of his playing, but that he transferred. I understand. You know, you got Justice Haynes coming on, and he's going to get some playing time. And you got Jam Miller, who's done good this year. I just thought that he would stay because he is to me, he was more of a bruiser, you know, coming off that line like that. And I was really disappointed because I really enjoyed watching him play this year. So I hate it. I really do. But the way they're talking about Justice Haynes, he is going to have a spot this year. He's one of those kinds that makes you play him, from what I'm understanding. I haven't seen really what I call spectacular runs from him. But I think, you know, he'll be just fine once he gets in there and starts developing what he wants to do. So I'm not really crying that Roydell's leaving. I just hate it.
That's one. Is Jace McClellan? I thought he had one more year left. Is he graduating or something? I hadn't heard on him.
I don't know, but I haven't heard about anything about him playing this year. See, that's where I need these recruiting guys.
I think he's going to come back. You know, I ain't heard nobody say anything. I don't think anybody said anything about him leaving.
Yeah, and well, that's just it. I haven't heard anything on Chase. Nothing.
Yeah,
just all the other good stuff.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, Richard Young, he didn't play any hardly this year. You know, he's red shirted. He's supposed to be real good. And of course, we got Jam Miller and we got Sweet Justice Haynes. And of course, that's why Roydell left. And then, of course, Jace McClellan, I ain't heard if he's going anywhere or not. I mean, I think he's coming back simply because he hadn't said anything. You ain't seen him in the transfer portal. You ain't heard him talk about the NFL or anything like that. I think he needs to come back for another year, and I think that's what he's going to do. But that backfield is going to be covered up with guys trying to get, you know, touches.
Well, Mr. Jones says Chase is a senior. I think he has no eligibility left.
Okay.
And LW says he's deciding this week to stay or transfer. That's maybe why we're not hearing anything. But look at the list that LW put up there that he's right. You got Justice Haynes. You got Miller. You got Richard Young, who's been sitting in the background. And from what I understand, Richard Young was instrumental on getting Justice Haynes here. And they're saying, from what I'm hearing, Richard Young is one of those quiet kind of guys until he gets on the field. He's more of a team player than he is look at me, what I done. So I'm really hoping to see some good things out of him too. Our running back room, it's stocked. Now all we need is an offensive line that's going to get them through. There again, we go back to the offensive line. The quarterback room, we done tried to cover that. See, Miss Brenda, I know what you're doing, hon. Good seeing you. Hopefully I'll see you later. Bill Rowe, I'm really hoping that he can do it again. And the problem is he's got to have the offensive line. There's no doubt about it. What's his name? Julius saying, same thing. He's going to have an offensive line. All of them are. You know what I mean? I know when Dylan Largren played in the spring, he didn't seem to have no problem. And I don't know if he was playing what string of offensive line he was with, but he didn't have no problem at all, you know. So I don't know, but we got to have an offensive line. All right. So, guys, how do you want this to play out? Who do you want playing on your first string this year? That's what I'm wondering. Who's going to step up? You know, who's going to be that player that's sitting in the background that coach is sitting there watching, you know, and see if they take over a junior or a senior player? That's what I'm wondering. I mean, we've got some good guys coming in, but that could be a year sitting on the seat. But we did play Justice Haynes. Jalen Hale, I'd like to see him again. I want to see him. I want to see some more out of Kendrick Law. I want to see that. Kendrick Law is too good of an athlete not to give him plays. You know what I mean? And what he does when he gets the ball, because they try to, when they give him the ball, he does great things with it. You know, it's got so much talent. This, which way do you go on the offensive side of the ball? Now, what about our defense? What do you think happens there?
Well, and from last year, our edge guys, both Braswell and Turner, are gone. And I think Keon Keeley and Yanze Pierre and them are going to step right in, and they ain't going to miss a beat. And I think Keon Keeley might be faster than Turner was, and I think Yanze Pierre is a little bit more of a hoss as far as I think he's a little bit bigger. But Keon Keeley was standing next to Turner last year when he was on a recruiting visit Alabama. And I'm telling you what, that Keon Keeley looked like Superman standing next to him. And and Turner's a big man, first round pick, but Keon Keeley made him look like a kid. Unbelievable.
Really?
I mean, it shocked me that he's that much bigger than not Dallas. I mean, I was saying Turner. Oh shit! Well, I'm drawing blanks tonight. The other guy besides Braswell.
I know. Well, let's put it this way: how much are we losing in our secondary?
Yeah, you can't lose 2 first-round picks and not hurt a little bit, you know. So I mean, the guys we got coming in, and should be, they should be ready though. I mean, we.
Okay. Well, let's put it this way: our secondary is pretty good. I think we're losing Kool-Aid. I think we are, and that was a big one. You know, I think we'll be just fine. We still have Caleb Downs back there, and I think he should have got some kind of trophy this year. You know what I'm saying? And he did not. I don't get it. The kid played his heart out. He basically was, I ain't gonna say he was a secondary, but the secondary allowed him to do what he done. Yeah, as Jones says, Turner, Braswell, Kool-Aid, and Arnold. I forgot about that. Arnold is gone too.
And Terry declared, yes, sir.
Yep, but I think Amos is coming back. I'm still not worried about our secondary. I'm just not. There's too many. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm still looking.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I know Malachi Moore. He's coming back. Then you got Amos or Key. I forgot what it is you named off. They're coming back, and we got Hale, like you talked about. Now we did lose Earl Little Jr. signed with Florida freaking State today. Mm-hmm. I mean, he committed to them. I can't believe he's leaving with all the guys that's leaving Alabama because he was hurt this year, and I figured he'd come back because he'd probably a starter this year at Alabama. But I guess he wanted to be back down in Florida for one reason or the other, so he's gone. And I'm trying to remember.
Deontay Lawson is coming back.
Yeah, I
we lost Story. We lost him.
Yeah, Christian Story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Earl Little Jr.
Yes, sir.
I want to know, John Pope. Pope, where's he at? What's he going to do this year?
I think he's going to be off. Should line up as either. We got our right guard. He should. Both our guards are coming back. Both Booker and Jade Roberts
Pope
coming back.
Now I know we got a Poe coming in.
I'm thinking Poe. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're thinking about Pope.
Yeah, the one that laid the wood to Burton in spring game.
Yeah, in the end zone. Yeah,
ain't seen him since.
No, that's why I'm trying to figure out. I don't know if he got hurt or if something changed, but he was back in the safety or back in the star position. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
But like you say, I ain't heard nothing from him. I mean, they just all of a sudden, I don't know why we don't play people no more. You know, when we get ahead of people, we don't play them no more like we used to. Of course, we got see, what's that kid's name? I was looking for him just a minute. Of course, Damani Jackson's coming in. He's a plug-and-play guy. I really think he'll start at one of the corners. And we got oh, man, my brain. It's not working.
Y'all have to look over AT. I'm throwing stuff on him. We don't do pre-discussions, hardly. We talk, but not a lot about what we're going to talk about. So I kind of sprung this on him. And he's had a busy, rough day today too. So, but anyways, if you really kind of getting the gist of all this, it's not so much that our defensive line is going to need to help, because I thought they really done outstanding this year, to be honest with you. But I do think our main goal and our main problem that's going to help our football team all year long and into the playoffs is going to be our offensive line. I'm not worried about a quarterback. I think we got a fine one coming back with Milroe, given his second year and his second, how can you put it, working with Reese. You know, I think he's going to be just fine, you know. But I'm sure the controversy will start up pretty soon with Jalen and Dylan and Ty Simpson. I don't think he's going to get there. I hope Tim Smith comes back. He done good for us this year too. But we've got a lot to work with and a lot to look forward to. Now I know we lost our kicker. I know that. So I don't know who our extra point and field goal specialist is going to be next year. I don't know, you know. But hey, Will Rocker done good. He missed a couple this year, but he didn't do it in the playoffs. And, you know, he was a heck of a kicker for us. I know a lot of people don't care nothing about kickers, but hey, they've won more than one game. I'll tell you that right now. You got to have you a good one.
Yeah, they cared about it. We had that number 43 kicking field goals for us, Cade. We cared about it then because he couldn't hit the damn ground with a damn football. I mean, so when you get one that don't miss hardly, you better take advantage of it, because, I mean, they don't come on trees. They don't grow on branches.
Talty. I thought Talty was the punter. Connor, I don't remember Connor. But we'll see. We'll see how they come. Well, yeah, when you go Van Kiffin, everybody knows you better have you a kicker. Yep, you got to have one. But anyways, what I'm getting at, we're looking pretty good, guys. We just got to work on our offensive line. It's what we got to really do. Coaching. Kevin Steele coming back.
Yeah, I don't know why we'd trade him up for anybody unless they if they move Travaris Robinson. People were talking about they'd like to see him, at the defensive coordinator. They want to keep him because he's done such a great job with our DBs this year. And then the guy I'd like to see he's an analyst right now. I don't think he's on the field coach. He come from Charlie Strong. I think he'd be a good one.
I was waiting.
He's I really like him. I think he'd fit right in without a problem.
Yes, I do. If something was to happen, I don't think Kevin Steele done all bad.
No.
He brought up our defense a whole lot better than what it was last year. A whole lot better. But I agree. If something was to happen that Kevin Steele left or whatever, for whatever reason, I think Charlie Strong is our man. And that's just my opinion. He was a defensive coach for Florida, and I think he took over for Texas as a head coach for a little while, and now he's with us. And I think he would be an outstanding defensive coach, if he had the full reins of it too. I think it would be just fine. What do you think about Tommy Reese? I know we've lost some other coaches already, but I don't think it's nothing that's really going to hurt us. I think there's probably a few that people are pissed off about that they would like to see go. And I'm just going to say Eric Wolford for one. But we'll see. But what do you think about Tommy Reese? What's your score on him right now?
Tommy was growing up as much as as our offense was this year. You know, I mean, he left Notre Dame where he was comfortable there because he knew Notre Dame. He knew the ins and outs, where everything was. He was comfortable living there. You bring him down south and everything changes, and there's a lot more demands. And I don't care what they say about Notre Dame. They don't have the same demands on football as we do. And he was growing up this year with a quarterback that was also having to grow up at the same time. We had a left tackle being thrown in the game. He was doing snapping or wherever which direction, and that made Reese look battered, worse than what it was. Reese grew up a lot. So I really look forward to what he's going to be able to do this year. He's not going to have Tyler Buckner there to be hey, I want Buckner. And then, Buckner couldn't hit the ground against South Florida. And so, they got that out of his system. And once he done that, he started calling plays and stuff to help out our quarterback that was there. We got the $6 million man at quarterback. He's bigger, stronger, faster than 90% of the country, and then wasn't using him right. And when he takes off, we're impossible. But when he stays in that pocket, and not that he can't throw the ball, but when he stays in that pocket, we just wasn't that good this year.
Yep. Hey, Tom. Glad to see you, bud. Yeah, they are, but they're not. They're not in the SEC. He's talking about Michigan is a 3-loss team in the SEC. Yeah, I feel like it. But they ain't. They got full team. They don't have the injuries that the SEC teams have, like Georgia. Georgia played with two McConkey and Brock Bowers, whatever. They played hurt. Games could have been different. But see, that's what happens in the SEC. So Michigan's and Ohio State's, they get a pass, seem like. But it's neither here or there. All right, guys. I guess we're going to try to get out of here unless you got something else you want to talk about. But I think our new season is fixing to kick off with a bang. What do you think?
Yeah, we're going to be okay. I really look forward to year 2 of Kevin Steele because, Edgar Allan Poe is what I called old Kevin, old Golden, Edgar Allan Poe, because he never was and never more. And so I think it really is a mentality. When you're a defensive coordinator, you can't be their best friend. You got to be their taskmaster. When they do good, let them know they done good, but you can't sit there and pat them on the back and say it's going to be okay and all this. You got to let them know it's not okay. You're not doing right. You need to do better. I think Kevin Steele is exactly what the doctor ordered. And going from there where we were to where we were this year was light years ahead, and I look forward to getting another light years ahead. The talent's there, guys. We got 3 of the best all-time recruiting classes in the country, in the history of recruiting down there, and we got to do better. We got to take better care of it, and we got to get down there and do what we need to do. At Ryan Williams, when he comes in, if he comes to Alabama February 9th, he's going to be a starter day 1. And I look for him to take a top off defenses, and that's going to help Jalen out. And I think we're going to be right back in the middle of it. Of course, we're going to make the playoffs. The top 12 teams are in there. And
I don't know. Hang on a second. Let's talk about that. The playoffs. They're saying that probably a couple of 10-2 teams will come in there. You think that's the way it's going to be? Or you think everybody's going to take the easy route again?
I think you're going to have some teams with 2 losses in there. You got 12 of them, and it's according to how the ACC's conference champion is. What was their ACC? Yeah, but Florida State was the only thing that's any good this year. But go ahead.
Florida State, good grief. They got. Come on, I'll take a 10-2 Georgia team over a 13-0 Florida State. Trust me.
This year I would. Yeah, this year I would. When their quarterback went down, they didn't have no offense. He was their offense.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what I'm saying. You take a Georgia, Alabama, LSU. Well, let's put it this way. It changes this year. This year. Everybody's going to be playing tough schedules this year in the SEC. Yep. We're still ahead of the game. That's what I mean by ahead of the game, as Big Tens and the Big 12s and all them. They still ain't got the tough schedules that we do. And that's why I say you take a 10-2 Alabama, Georgia, LSU team and put them in a 12-team playoff, they're going to beat some teams. Now, will we win? We'll have to wait and see. But I still think you take a 10-2 SEC team, they're going to go places in the playoff.
I agree
So-
with you. 12 teams, what's going to really tick the rest of the country off even more so is out of that 12 teams, I can see 6 of them from the SEC. I mean, it's going to be that simple. Every year, half of them, and they're going to get mad. And how come so many SEC teams are getting in the playoffs? Well, look what the damn scores and records are showing. I mean, it's going to be simple. Now, I mean, I know the Big Ten gathered Oregon, Washington, USC, and UCLA and got them over there, got them in their conference to try to beef up their schedule, make them look better. But they don't play defense out there on the coast. We play defense and offense, and it's when it gets down to the nut cutting time, there's going to be 6 SEC teams in there, and the rest of them going to be madder than all get out. At least they're going to get the ACC champion in, the Big Ten, the Big 12. The Big 10 is gone. I don't know what them teams are going to do. Arizona State, and all of them. I don't know what they're going to do, but
It's all been dissolved.
Yeah, we will get 6, at least 6 into the championship. And I don't know what, the question made me come up with just now, and I know we're talking about something different, is what's going to happen to them teams that were out there like Arizona State. And, I don't think the SEC wants them. I mean, the Big 12, the Big 12 might stay together, but when you put, was it Central Florida that went into the Big 12 this year?
I don't know.
I'm
just honest with you. I don't know.
I think they're in the Big 12, so the Big 12 is trying to stay together, but you look at their daggum, team, the Oklahoma State's their biggest team, it's going to be with opportunity to get in there. And when they, it's going to be all the SEC, and they're going to be mad, and they're going to cuss Alabama, and they're going to call us names, and we're going to go be shaking our heads. Yeah, but
Well, I figure Florida State is starting all this crap simply because they want out of the ACC. They're not making enough money. They see the field, the money's greener on the other side, and that's why they want to try to join up with the Big Ten. Stupid. But, if that's what you want to do, a lot of teams up there north don't want to come down here to Florida State to play football. I know Florida's a beautiful state, and it's a go-to state, but it ain't that. That's a lot of money to be flying teams back and forth because you got to travel too. So I don't think they want to be doing that. So you might not get there where you want to be. I don't know. Clemson will make a good choice as far as they joined up the SEC.
Yeah, I don't know if we've been asking them or not, but I know our revenue in the SEC is making so much more money than other conferences. They're all worried about it. Thing I heard today, and I forgot about it. They said I think it was Josh Pate was talking about. Said that the playoff is only scheduled for 2 years. After 2026, there's nothing written down, and they don't really have I don't know if the word is direction, but they don't have a direction to go with this any more than what they are now. So they're really not sure because they don't know the sponsors and all this, don't know where the money's going to be, how to make their money, I suppose. But, I mean, it's always about money. But in 2026 will be the last year of the way they're looking at it now. I don't know what college football is going to look like in 3-4 years from now.
Well, I can understand why they've done that. If this 12 team don't pan out like they hope, or if they might need to go to a 14, who knows? 14, 16, you never know about these guys. You know what I'm saying? They've been changing from the BCS era on down to this now, a 14 playoff. So now I think if you're going to do that, might as well do a 12, and I agree with that. 2-time. My buddy Georgia fan.
I see him up in here. Hey, 2-time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anyways, now there's going to be more than just 3 SEC team playoff. But we're going to be fine. Georgia's going to be fine. So Georgia, don't y'all worry. You and Tom Reed, 2-time, y'all be fine. I don't think y'all even losing any coaches this year either. So that's why I think our problem, or things that we need to fix this year, is our coaching. Even Coach Bear Bright took responsibility for his in the latter years. It's poor coaching. And that's what we need to do, is work on our coaching and our O-line. I think we'll be just fine next year. But I think those two factors will determine if we win a national championship next year. We got the players just like everybody else. Georgia's set up good. I don't know about LSU. LSU just fired their whole defensive coaching.
Yeah.
So I don't know about them. They might get better.
That brings up a question about LSU, though, because I think Harbaugh's gone from Michigan. I think he's going to be in the pros next year. Michigan comes open, they're going to go after Brian Kelly and make him say no, or they're going to go after Urban Meyer first, one of them two. Everybody goes after Urban Meyer and make him say no. But I think Brian Kelly is a better fit up there because that's where he's from originally. And not that you can win easier at Michigan than you can at LSU, but I think he would prefer to be up there. That's going to open LSU back up, and then that'll get you thinking, who's going to go to LSU? I mean, they're a big-time program. They can get a good coach. So, where are you looking around? Who you going to find? And I ain't thought much about who would go down there past, Brian Kelly leaving.
Well,
I think Brian Kelly's going to Michigan.
One of the best things that happened this year was that Josh Heupel in Tennessee won their bowl game this year. That's one of the best things that could happen. And it's a simple reason they won't get rid of Josh and Alabama and Georgia and the rest of us in the SEC. We know what he's about, so we can beat him. You know what I'm saying? We won't have to worry about listening to Tennessee. Do what?
Yeah, he's a one-trick pony. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Them out there, and we'll run clean through them. I mean, they're going to have some good players on offense, but he's another Lincoln Riley. To me, I mean, he's an offensive coach, and think about it. When's the last time a truly offensive-minded coach won the NCAA championship? I'm not talking about Division III and stuff, Division I. A truly offensive-minded coach. I can't think of one.
Well, what I'm looking at is who's in the SEC, what coaches are staying, what players are staying, let's put it this, our team development, let's put it that way. From what I'm seeing, again, this year coming up is Georgia. Shut up, Gabe. Dynasty ain't over. If Dynasty was over, we probably wouldn't be sitting here talking, would we? But Alabama and Georgia again will rule the SEC this year, and we will be back in the playoffs. Good thing about it, no matter, we still win or lose, Georgia, and it should give you some other ideas too. If you lose to Alabama, you still can get into playoff and do what you need to do. Same thing for Alabama. We are going to be making statements this year, Georgia. Georgia and Alabama. They will rule the SEC this year. We got some work to do. I ain't going to lie. We got some work to do. And if you want to look at Alabama and say, what you want to about the game with Michigan, just keep this in mind. We beat y'all. So there you go. Y'all still got work to do too. Let's get it done. Let's rule this. Let's rule this.
Georgia, when you start losing when you start losing coaches on a continual basis like what we're doing, we've already lost 2 or 3 this year, but I think Coach Boone might be a good one for LSU. I mean, he might fit in down there with them real good. He might not, but you're going to start losing coaches, and Kirby might go to the NFL. And then when you start losing coaches, then it's going to be you'll see how hard it is to replace the coach. It's hard to replace a coach than it is a quarterback.
It makes a difference. It makes a difference. Sure
After about 10 or 15 of them, it does make a big difference over a scan. Over 15, 20 years, it is hard to do.
Nick Saban has to retrain a coach every year. Because any coach that comes from Nick Saban, people want him for some reason. And it'll get that way with Kirby Smart, too. Watch. All right. Well, we fixing to get out of here. I wanted everybody to know, hey, the new season has started. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see how this story plays out. This is one of the best coaches' jobs that Nick Saban has done, from just completely changing over from one system to another and recruiting the players and getting things done this year, and still got them to the SEC, won it. And, hey, we come up short in our playoff. Oh, well, let's go again. We're going to reload and have at it. Guys, we got a lot to look forward to. Got a lot of interesting players that's coming in. We've got a lot of people that are staying. That's going to be interesting to see how this team folds out again this year. I know we'll all be waiting for the first game, and we ain't talking about the spring game. The first game in August is really going to tell somewhat, and you know all just like I do, it takes about the third or fourth game to really start seeing which players are actually doing what in there. But it's going to be a fun year. I know Georgia's going to have a fun year. We all are. I think the whole SEC with this new platform that we're doing, everybody has a tough schedule. I feel like even with 10-2 teams, SEC is going to be represented well in the 12-team playoff. You watch it see. It's going to be a great year. All right, guys. You got anything else, AT, before I do something and get out of here?
Yeah, just a comparison for the rest of the world to listen to. Alabama fans know this, and the rest of the people don't. They think they do, but they don't. People are talking about Alabama having a bad year this year because what? We didn't win a championship for the first time in 3 years. Ever since Saban, it's been every 3 years we win at least one national championship. And they're comparing us to us, and everybody else gets compared to everybody else. But, when you're the best, they still compare everybody to you. So we're still the benchmark. And I know, Georgia, you won 2 in a row, but they're still talking about us. You didn't win one for the first time in 3 years. Well, damn, we made the playoffs, and we should have, would have, could have beat Michigan, didn't. So, we were right there. We were right there. And I think that Washington would have been easier to beat than Texas or Michigan would have been for us. But, again, we didn't get to find out. Michigan, they beat us, so Michigan gets to play them. And I don't know if Washington can do anything, running the ball. I don't know what they of course, Penix and them can throw the ball, but I don't know if they can do anything about running the ball. I don't know how good a run they are over the entire season, but I'm going to be pulling for Washington. After all this bullshit, hearing all this, I'm going to be pulling for Washington. Michigan can kiss my happy ass.
All right, guys. I'm going to go into this one time tonight. I'm doing a Bigfoot show here coming up pretty soon. I will probably do my first one with double streaming like we're doing now, one on Bam Dam and one on Icebox. And probably after that, I may just swap over to Icebox. It depends on the reactions that I get from the Bam Dam Sports side. I am looking for people that want to tell their stories. Anybody wants to come on and tell what they've seen, heard, or anything like that. We're just basically just getting on here and just talking about it and get stories, that I think would be fun to talk about. And that's the way we're going to start it off. I do have some special guests that are coming in later on. But my first show is going to be about you guys. That way, if I got other people that are coming in, quote, professional, we don't know. But if, so nobody will feel intimidated. I want to hear your stories first before we get into the other professional side of it, you might say. So anyway, so if you have stories, leave a comment if you want to tell it. That way I can make room for you in the first show. And it is coming up pretty soon. Probably if it's not this coming Saturday, it more than likely definitely will be next Saturday after that. So about 2 weeks. All right. So I'm going to get out of here. Is that it? You got anything else you want to say?
Just tap that out.
Tap our app. And before we do, let's see here. I've already put this, guys, in our new intro, Coach Do Sports, and we're going to try this. I was told we might want to do this. By the way, guys, tomorrow, Catch Barbershop Talk with Van Edwards, 12 o'clock Central, 1 o'clock Eastern. And let's see here. Our man, we can't never forget Nick Saban Jr., Sports Talk TV. He's doing good things. I know he's been busy, him and Rags, and probably Brock too, has been busy on the recruiting side. So catch these guys, especially if you want to catch up on some recruiting. Man, they're great at it. KB, Kangaroo Black, subscribe on YouTube. Wonderful guy. Yeah, he's a different flavor, but buddy, he's good. I love to watch him myself. He doesn't know it. I haven't been on there much saying anything, but I'm there watching. He's a good guy. This is us, Bam Down Sports. If you haven't tapped our app, get on there. Tap it. We love to have our little app tap. And don't forget, Tuesday nights with my man that's sitting over here, AT and William Bryant and Spencer. Great show. I always love to watch them, and I run the board for them, but I love to watch them guys. I have fun every time. So anyways, if you can, catch these guys. And with that, guys, we're out of here, and we're going to start off just right like it should be. We're going to leave out of here with the hang on, I got to get that off there.
Bigfoot, guys, come on back. We're going to have a lot of fun. I mean, I'll be around and stuff, and this is something my man's worked hard on, and he's really going at it. So y'all don't let him down. Get in here and let's watch this and let's talk about it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean,
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
You never know what's gonna be said from the guy next to you. You didn't know that you was working with at work. He ran across a Bigfoot.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Trust me, it's gonna be interesting. Lucian, you come in too late there, brother. But hey, we'll catch you tomorrow, right? We'll catch you tomorrow. I hope so.
Hey, Mr. Lucian. Roll Tide, brother.
And I ain't got but one thing for Lucian, and he knows what it is, and I'll save that for tomorrow.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Yeah, I might have to tune in tomorrow just to see what you're talking about now. I mean,
I wasn't
going to tune in and listen to Van run his mouth, but I guess I'll have to. Hey, Van, I'm just kidding, brother. If you're out there, I'll be there. I'll be listening.
Oh, yeah. And Lucian's great, too. I really love talking to Lucian. Yeah, he's fun.
Lucian is cool. He's got his cool other side of the pillow.
Oh, yeah. Yep. You said that right. All right, guys, we're out here. Here comes the bear. Y'all have a good evening. We'll catch y'all tomorrow, 12 o'clock Central, 1 o'clock Eastern. Y'all have a good night.
You've got to be better in all three areas of life, which, of course, are spiritual, mental, and physical. You must be able to discipline yourself. If you don't learn but one thing out of football, it'll be worthwhile. There's certain sacrifices that you will have to make. There are going to be many sacrifices you have to make in later life. To fight. Oh, I don't mean fist fight. I mean to get up and come back and get up and come back and get up and come back again after you've been knocked down. And that could happen to you in later life. But if it does, you're going to know how to handle it. There's no one that ever has or ever will accomplish anything alone. I've read about self-made men. That's Tommy Rot, as far as I'm concerned. I don't even know how to define intangibles. And I know that if you learn these lessons, you'll have it. And if you have it, you'll win, and you'll be better prepared in those three areas of life that we've been talking about. That there are going to be times for everyone that you're going to get discouraged. But if you never lose sight of your objective and never give up on yourself, if we do that as a team, 11 at the time, 4 years from now, why, we'll be walking out of here as national champion.